Welcome to the 18th installment of Let's Get It On, to the worst winter in recent history, the winter of 273 BC. Well, let's start with some good news. The Ervisci retreated, so the north of Pannonia, at least for now, is uncontested. I think they are actually at another war of their own. Yes, they are at war with the Norii, which we apparently don't know anything about. So let's leave it at that. So that's some good news. Now, some of you may already see it, that nasty green fog above all of our units, basically. Usually it means the plague. Well, some kind of a plague, a disease that devastates the armies and the cities for a couple of terms. But no, we didn't get that. We got extreme blizzards. And it doesn't really affect just us, it affects quite a few provinces, and I think even the Ervisci are suffering from it. But look at those modifiers. Basically forget about any income from agriculture and public order, growth, everything is affected extremely bad. And armies also get attrition, which is lovely. This is exactly what we need after a battle in which we lost 366 men. So yeah, and on top of that, we have guerrilla activities in the city of Sigindum. The Scordicii are sending all kind of agents, the spies, the champions, to their war maidens to sow distrust between us, the rightful rulers of Pannonia, and the citizens of Sigundum. So I think it's thematically awesome, and I kind of like this turn of events. Makes for an interesting story. And the thing I should mention is that we got a ton of messages, but since I saved and then now I loaded, I can't see any of the message. This is a very minor thing. I don't know who's at fault, if it's actual ROM 2 stuff or if it's the DeI mod, but this really bugs me, and I wish it wasn't like that. But hey, what you can do about that. But actually I did write it down. What we got is the Urpana came back. The Urpana, one of the wives, she came back from the, which one is that? Oh yeah, the horrible wife Purpioporus got. She came back from the Odrysians and she offended them, and somehow it caused an international thingy that lowered the morale of our troops, which is lovely. Exactly what we need during a blizzard, an international incident. So awesome. What else happened? Oh yes, we got a new child, Dablosa. This one as well, it's not exactly mentioned if it's a boy or a girl, so I guess it's still a mystery, but I think they are boys, the Tozi and Dablosa. And what a birth this must have been in a hostile conquered city during one of the worst winters ever. So I guess if he ever grows up and doesn't die as a child, as most of them do, I think he will get some kind of winter theme name or something. For now, he's just a wee babe. So let's talk about Dablosa's father, the mighty King Dotos. Well, apparently the game disagrees with my assessment and me hyping him up. He actually got weakling as a warrior. He used to be, when you start as default, as just a scrapper, just a neutral kind of thing, but he evolved into a weakling Now I am offended by this analysis. I mean, during battles, he always, every time he got into a pinch, he actually did manage to prove himself, despite probably not being the best fighter. So I don't know, maybe it's because of his advanced old age of 40. I mean, he is a venerable old man on his deathbed at 40. But come on, weakling? Harsh. Anyway, now his army, his units will be even less effective than before. Because let's face it, he wasn't that good of a fighter to begin with. But wow, the game is brutal. Anyway, he also leveled up, and I think thematically we should just make him even more scary. Level 3 Dread Commander, because who doesn't fear a weakling? But no, we will go with Dread Commander and the Commander of Men, because the people respect him. I mean, he chooses his targets right, even though he isn't. Maybe that's why the game gave us weakling, because we always attack basically unarmed archers, and even we try to target those that are even naked, like naked unarmed archers who used to be are his bread and butter. So maybe that's why the game is so cruel to our lovely king. And as you can notice, we recorded our Xenos scum, the foreign spear units, 225 men each, 500 foreigners, ill-disciplined men that are tenacious fighters, that are looking for honor. Basically, in our case, they are Xenos scum, because they are literally, I mean, who will we recruit from here? Only Scordicii that decided, instead of going away, because their wives, daughters, parents, whatever, got slaughtered by an invading army, they said, no, screw that, we are not going away, this is the land of our forefathers, we will remain and sell our service to those who murdered our people. So yeah, the scum of the earth, basically. Welcome to the army. Yeah, and what else? Yes, our wife, excuse me, Dablosa's mother, since she gave birth in such harsh conditions, we should give her, instead of that stupid sword, we should give her a nice blanket. At least I think this is what this is supposed to be, a lion's pelt. So yeah, you can take that. That will give her more cunning, and once she get to 6 cunning, we can start embezzling. Her only useful thing she can actually do from a game mechanic point of view, other than whoring herself for 5,000 monies from the Odrysians. So yep, and I guess we should also address Danzibalous' death and the vacant spot he left in as a member of the Oneiroi, the dream people, the people that only exist in my imagination, as the captain of our most elite unit. And I think I will make some kind of a theater of the mind about it, and introduce this man.
We fight for our families, my brothers. We fight with honor.
Manconius Impunius, Manconius the Fist. He's actually the man who organized that tiny Singunian army of 400 men to come to King Dotos's aid. And just for perspective, it's not uncommon for like one unit in the army to have 225 men in it. So number-wise, not very impressive, but logistically, organizing men into different groups, giving them spears, archers, and even some horses, that impressed Dotos. So he started asking about who who this man be. Turns out he is a distant relation of our warrior Queen Doina. As he likes to say it, he's her third cousin on her dog side. In reality, many suspect he is just a former Scordicii, a man of ability but not nobility, who took advantage of the new power gap created by the new Dacian conquest and jumped at the opportunity to introduce himself as the new queen's long-lost cousin. And Queen Doina, not being a stupid woman herself, just embraced him as the long-lost cousin. And despite his Scordicii blood, he swore upon a blood oath and loyalty to King Dotus and Dacia. He is now eager and willing to show his loyalty, even offering to lead a group of civilians to receive the blunt of the enemy pilums in our last fight. And King Dotos, appreciating his initiative and ruthlessness, realized he has an opening with the death of Danzibalous. He offered Manconius the command of the chosen spears. And in just a few months, Manconius recruited some more veterans and totally transformed the unit from a collection of able veterans with questionable loyalty to die-hard loyalists of King Dotos. Actually, I should address that because of my illness in the past few weeks, in earlier videos I forgot to mention, I mentioned it in the recording, but the recording was so ineligible and I actually forgot to re-record it, so it ended up as one of those lost ideas. Anyway, Danzibalous' men were a collection of veterans that were honored with the questionable honor of having a frontline seat in any engagement, because most of them were men belonging to other tribes, like the Apulii, men who served under one of their three kings that King Dotos and his men ended up killing, and also quite a few of them served under Balakisia in Pelendava. So King Dotos didn't exactly trust them, and he welcomed a high mortality rate amongst those men. Not like we just had in the last fight, something like 30 to 50 men each fight was more than acceptable, because they were supposed to be elites and hold their own. Crumbling like we just saw against Vepo is, I hope, uncharacteristic. But now, under Manconius, things are probably about to change. So I think we should actually do something after all this talking about. We should actually move with King Dotos, since he won't replenish because it's a horrible winter and we will even lose men. We should try and invade. The Tribalii won't like it, but you know what, Mr. Tribalii, since you are they're surprised they're not dead. For some reason, probably because they want to recruit 5 more units apparently, because that's legal. Usually you're only allowed to recruit 3 units, but I guess they also got some more mercenaries. That's why I think they didn't, and they're also raiding them, so that's like a nice source of additional men of income from them. So not necessarily the wrong decision, but weird to still see them alive. But actually this gives me an idea of, you know what, let's confederate with them, but only if you pay us. Let's see how much we can extract for them. 30,000. Will you accept this? Yes.
The gods will rejoice at the words we have spoken today.
Yeah.
You honor us with these terms.
We do? We just basically blackmail you into you want we can't trade with them anymore. So what we actually did is offer them, you want a safe passage back into safety, pay us 30,000 and we will claim these lands in your name. I'm actually not gonna even address Nisos as a province, because we only own it on paper. The Scordistii will take it, but we got a nice piece of money out of it. Not as much as whoring our wife out gave us, but a nice piece of coin. And actually, now that means we can recruit. So let's start with the mercenaries. We can get some Thracian hired horses. They're not good, but they have 120 individual models, which I think makes up for them not being actually good. Well, they have the usual problem for mercenaries. Their morale is kind of bad with only 33. They're really lightly armored, but they are very fast and numerous, so an option. And we have Thracian Pelters, very similar to our own youths, only they're just slightly better because they're grown up and stuff. And these are interesting. These are Thracian Folksmen. So for double the money, you get 15 armor, but a lot less zeal. And now we get to some of the more interesting units of the game. The agrarian various units. The agrarians are depicted in the game as some kind of commando units, some kind of people who live off the land and really know their pathways around here. They're a stealth unit that doesn't really help us since we play against AI, but they can hide almost everywhere and they ignore terrain movement. But the most important is that they get guerrilla deployment, so you can actually deploy them behind enemy lines and stuff like that. Could be interesting to play around with. And also we can recruit an agrarian version of Peltas. So that's interesting. So let's look at what we can actually recruit. We can only recruit from the foreigner population, and these are the tiny Rumphia warriors. I don't know what's tiny about them. It's their size or their Rumphia. Rumphia. This is one of those things that I don't think anyone ever says out loud, but it's the name of that weird two-handed sword that our folksmen use. That's at least the Greek version of that. And these are the tiny are one of those Thracian tribes that are starting to get Hellenized, but they are getting Hellenized with the, I guess, the iron price. Like, they don't go and buy the stuff, they go kill a Greek and take his stuff, and now they have Greek stuff. So I kind of like them. They are kind of like our own folksmen, only better. They have worse morale, but they have armor. They have an armor of 15, which is awesome. Instead of being naked, they have stuff on them. So we might even hire them. What else do we have? The Crowboys. The Crowboys, Ferrous Spearmen. A thorough spear is some kind of a real spear. If you're into weaponry, just Google it. It's a rabbit hole. You can read about ancient weaponry for hours on end. They are basically the normal type variation of a spear, but they are slightly better because they have higher morale. And these are some of the weirdest units in the game. The Medai Peltas. These are the tribe of Spartacus. Spartacus came from them, whatever that means. In terms of game mechanics, they are like a heavily armored unit of youths, of Peltas. Now, I don't know why we would heavily armor a flanking infantry unit, because their speed, look, the speed here is 2, and here is, if we look at them like this, their speed is 3, but anyway, it's not the usual 4 that flanking infantry have. So I guess they're like our variation of really armored bow units. I don't really see. They're really expensive. I guess they could get into a fight and also get out of it, but with only a melee attack of 9, they also have only 131 models. They won't do a lot of damage, and they only have like the normal 6 ammunition that a Peltas unit gets. So I don't get them. If anyone can explain if they're actually good, maybe they are the best unit in the game. I just don't know how to use them. It's very likely. And the agrarian Peltas, basically like our own youths, only shittier morale because they have less. They're less invested in the motherland. Yes, they're not even Thracians. They're basically mercenaries, or actually no, they are Xenos scum. They are foreigners. And we also have Thracian Pelters. These are basically like our youths, again just a unit of Pelters, but they're bad. They are the worst variation we could find. They have some better armor, but base morale 27. You know, if you spit at them the wrong way, they will just run away. Because you know who wants to die who wants to die? Who wants to die? That's the motto of the Thracian Pelters. And so I guess it's recruiting time. So who will we recruit in the recruiting time? I guess we should get one of those tiny folksmen. And actually yes, one of those agrarians as well, and a unit of agrarian swordmen. This we can actually get immediately. So in our headcanon, these will be tiny and agrarians, but in our headcanon, these are the tribaliais that joined us. Let's avert our eyes towards the east, where the Warden of the East, Rigozus Wormtongue, will just patrol. I initially thought he will at least move towards getting comfortable with the idea of starting to raid the Scythians, but since the blizzard hit us and we will suffer, not only won't we replenish, but we will suffer attrition, let's delay that idea. And he also managed to recruit the second unit of light horse, which is nice. So let's also move our young child arbiter. You're still 16 or you're 17? Congratulations. Happy birthday. So yeah, he will come to Sigindum and start telling the locals that they are now Dacians and they should accept their faith. And yeah, this guy will just stay here. Oh, he leveled up. I forgot about that. So what should we give him? I guess we just want the thing that gives us empire maintenance. Yeah, so he is a public orator apparently, but most importantly he is a political reformer. Minus 1% maintenance. So yep, there's a real chance that we will face our first civil war when Sigindum will rise against us. In four turns, unless something drastically changes, they will revolt against us. But I don't know. I'm confident that something will happen, and we will just stop it. Probably King Dotos will finish his campaigns and start, enforcing the peace by force. So what we should also do is send the Urpana for the last time, even though I hate her. We do need the minus 1% empire maintenance that she will give us when she will level up, because she gives us plus 1 empire maintenance. So anyway, we should send her to the Odrysians. This time, please don't do any damage. And before we actually end the turn, let's do our annual donation to gather support. Let's see if that changes anything. No, we are still respected with 54. I want to be admired. Most likely I will. Oh yeah, I forgot. They will attack us. So yeah, but we won't defend this. This will just be a waste of time. So we'll just let the Trebellier, you know, be aggressive. Kill as many as you can. Oh my! What an unexpected turn of events! Oh no! What? We only killed 8? How embarrassing! Well, I guess the Scordisci won't be taking any more free attrition damage. Yep.
A river of goods and coin between our lands would surely see all prosper. Will you agree to trade?
Normally I would, but since they are occupying territories that we want, I think it's not in our best interest to trade with them, because then we will break our word when we will kill them, and then our other neighbors would look at us like, you know, we know you like to kill people, but why lie? You know, we will become, we are steadfast, but we won't want to take any more damage to our reputation. So no, we will not trade with you. The Urpana, generous tribute. Oh, she got monies. Well, I guess she went back and apologized. Thank you for the text message. And Tsiru, someone caught him stealing food. Don't really care. Yeah, all the people that died because of the blizzard. Many men. Carthage and Syracuse. Oh my. Well, I guess that the Carthaginians are showing up in force in this let's play. Let's see. Army destroyed. Garrison army. Ah, yeah, our army in our former city of Nisus that someone actually paid us to own. Yeah, lovely turn of events. Pannonia, it's early spring. Yeah, we lost our silver that we had in, and we lost our lead that we had in Nisus. Our king became mature. We will explore this lake. Stop with the text messages. A settlement lost. Any news that hasn't have anything to do with Nisus? Pannonia, they're unhappy. Yes, we are quite aware of this. In I think 3 turns they will turn on us. And we got a local bandit. And welcome to the actual turn, to the lovely spring of 273 BC. And we failed our recruitment, of course, because we lost the province, something I was totally aware of but forgot to account for. So yeah, that's the level of deep strategy that I'm working with. So we can't recruit no more, we can't get our hands of any tinies. So I guess it's actually, you know, kind of worked out in our favor. We are forced to hire better men, more expensive units, because I really want another unit of forks before I engage the enemy, the Scordisci. So I guess we will go with the Thrakoi Mistophoroi. What these units are just armored folksmen. And in our headcanon, this is the former king of the Trebelliai, basically buying his station in our kingdom, bribing us with 3,000 monies, so we will retake his kingdom for him and put him back on the local throne. But as long as he swears allegiance to us, we are more than glad to doing so. And since we have a unit of folks, I guess we will unite the remaining forces of the Dacian folksmen, and I guess we are ready to assault, but we will wait with that until we do some more logistical stuff. And actually what I noticed during the end turn is that Pella, the capital of the Macedonians, is ruled by I don't know, some Spartans. Never heard of them. But the thing is that we probably won't see any Macedonians. No more Macedonians in this playthrough. What a shame. Just interesting global events. What we should actually do is start moving what's his name, Pieporus, and his horrible wife towards his kingdom, his governorship of Sigindum. He still can't get there, and let's put this guy somewhere. Yeah, let's move him here so we can low-key spy on someone. This is the child arbiter, Kumakiza. And I guess that is all. It is time to attack, to actually take Naissos and hopefully finish off the Scordissae once and for all, for our new loyal friends, the Tribalii. So let's see, what are we facing? Is this the general? The king Orgetorix. Okay, fancy name, Ogretorix. He has lots of agrarians. This might be interesting. He has a ton of cavalry, 5 units of cavalry, some elite huntsmen. His infantry is kind of rubbish, but he has he has cavalry, not necessarily good ones. 3 units of just normal Celtic horse, and 2 units of actually more Thracian traitors. So would be interesting. And the city garrison, 233 men that really shouldn't show up because there will just be lambs to the slaughter. So this is starting to look like an interesting fight. So see ya during the battle.